Okay, I always get asked where to go out to meet guys like in their 30s. On my way to go to a hot and singles event. I'm so nervous.
So if you're over 30 and single, where do you find guys? Please.
How can you be balding and still ghost me? Not me being back at my singles event.
The era of most men chasing is over. Now we got women attending events to find a husband.
All right, y'all, I have a question. Where are all the single men at? Because when I walked in, it was packed. And what do you think I saw? 80 women sitting alone.
I will pay you up to $1,000 if you help me find straight, single.
Apparently men are always needed at these events. The ratio never matches. Never. Kindly subscribe to the channel as it further supports us in our work. Thank you.
I will pay you up to $1,000 if you help me find straight, single, 30-ish-year-old men in the New York City area, specifically like Manhattan, ideally. We're running a speed dating cornhole league at Lawn Club in FiDi. Women's is sold out and they're amazing. We need quality, single, straight men. And just send a list of names to support at sillypickles.com. We'll Venmo $50 per man.
So we have been waitlisted for speed dating. I guess way more women than men signed up. So unless a lot of men sign up before the event, we don't get to go. But I guess I'm glad that they do that, because if I showed up and there weren't very many men there, I think I would be very disappointed. Several of you actually told me that you got canceled on because not very many men signed up. And then one person said that they went and there just weren't very many men there. So I would prefer the way that I'm doing it. If there's not going to be very many men there, then I don't want to go. I also can see that it's probably not something that a lot of men think to sign up for. I mean, it took me a while to realize that it was a thing. I don't think they do a lot of advertising, so I don't know. I mean, I wish I knew if I was going or not, because then I could maybe make plans to do something else, and this way I just kind of have to leave a hole in my calendar. And I also don't know when I'll find out, so I guess we'll see. Don't worry, if I don't get to go to this one, I will absolutely do it again. It is absolutely something I'm interested in trying, especially since I've never done it before, but the future remains in question.
I guess men do listen after all, huh? The majority of men don't approach women anymore. They leave women alone, and they don't even attend singles events. And because of all these things that women have been saying for years, don't talk to me. You're making me uncomfortable. I don't need a man. Men finally got the message. Now it's showing in real time. So many of these events are struggling because there are always more women than men showing up. And it's not just a one-time thing. It's become the norm. Women sign up hoping to find a connection, but they walk into a room where the ratio is completely off. 5 women to every 1 man, sometimes even more. The dating landscape has changed. It's not that men disappeared. It's that they're done putting themselves out there only to be judged, mocked, or accused of being creepy for simply showing interest.
Message to any man who thinks that I'm too much, that is perfectly fine. That is perfectly fine. You can go find you someone for less. If I'm too much, go find someone with less. I don't know what to say to you, but I require so much because I know what I bring to the table, and it can be reciprocated. Anything I ask for or need from you is definitely reciprocated from me. So if I require too much, go find you less.
Where to meet single guys in their 30s and 40s, part 5. So I went to the Kith store on Sunset and it was crawling with men. Now, it doesn't have to be Kith specifically, but if you go to a store that specializes in men's clothing, but also sells stuff for women, that's the plug.
So if you're over 30 and single, listen to my rant, please. Where do you find guys? And don't tell me online dating. No, I'm not going to believe you. If you just go, hey, online dating, found them on Bumble. Yeah, so did 3 of my best friends. Like Hinge, Bumble, and Tinder, actually. But like, not now. Not in 2023. We're not finding people online. Like, they just want our money. They don't want our love. So where do you meet them? And then I've been getting TikToks, it's like, leave the house. It's like, okay, I'll leave the house. Where am I going?
Many of these women keep asking, where are the men? Or, where do you even find a good guy these days? But the reality is, those men are right in front of them, at work, at the gym, in their social circles, even at the coffee shop. But most of the time, they're ignoring them. They're brushing them off, friend-zoning them, or walking right past them without a second thought. This is especially common once a woman hits 30 and up. That's when the mindset starts to shift. The party phase wears off. The situationships aren't fun anymore, and suddenly, settling down becomes a priority. But by then, it's not as easy as it once was. Why? Because a lot of the men they overlooked in their 20s have either moved on, found someone who valued them from the beginning, or stopped trying altogether. The nice good guy is always their last option, because the one they wanted got away and don't want them. This is how modern chooses to settle down later on, after playing the field.
I'm single and 28, and when I moved to New York, I decided to start going to things like speed dating events, single meetups, and here's the thing, you have to set the expectation low for these types of events, right? You can't go in thinking, I'm gonna meet my husband tonight. If anything, it's a great way to try something new, get out of your comfort zone, and also to stretch the muscle of talking to potential partners. Like, I hadn't gone on a date in a really long time, and it was just nice for me to practice talking to guys again. They go by so quick. At the speed dating event I went to in Brooklyn, it was like 5 to 8 minutes long for every single guy. It went by so fast.
So let me get this straight. You're not my usual type physically. You're not someone I would usually find attractive or go for. But I decided to give you a chance. And when giving you a chance, you don't plan any dates. You don't make any effort. You don't go above and beyond in any way. You're stingy, you're cheap, you're short, you're balding, you're not generous, you don't have any good date ideas, you're kind of boring, lack creativity, not interesting. What is there for me to like? Like, I don't. Maybe I feel like do they look in the mirror and see something that I don't see? I don't know. What is there to like?
So you noticed the man was boring, wasn't your type, didn't check every box on your fantasy list, and yet you still decided to give him a chance. Not because you were genuinely interested, but maybe because you were bored, wanted attention, or felt like settling for a moment. And now, because he didn't plan the perfect date or didn't chase you like a character in a romance movie, suddenly he's the villain. Now you're bashing him. Let's be real, this is what a lot of women do. And what's wild is many of the women doing this aren't these flawless prize packages they believe themselves to be. They are average. If we strip away the filters, the fake lashes, the heavy makeup, the BBLs, and the Instagram angles, what we're left with is average. These same women want the man they're not even into to jump through hoops. Meanwhile, the men they really want, the ones with money, looks, or status, they don't require any effort. No chasing, no proving, no long text messages, just attention handed over for free.
What is it called when you only like guys who you feel like don't like you back? And I don't mean in the way of like you can only like guys who are like unattainable. I mean like if I feel like you really want me, I don't want you. But if I feel like if you're kind of ignoring me, if you're kind of not talking to me, if you're taking a long time to reply to me, suddenly I'm fucking desperate for you and you're like I have to have you more than anyone else in the world. But as soon as you reply, I'm over it. As soon as you like start showing interest in me again, I'm bored. What is that called?
How many men do you think are gonna crash out tonight and tomorrow because there's a drought on hoes and women aren't on the dating apps like they used to be? I can think about 2 in my life right now doing crazy stuff as we speak.
Men love mean girls.
No, they don't. But we still keep hearing this. So let's figure out why.
They don't like nice girls. They don't want a good woman. They say left and right that they do. They don't.
Okay, so what exactly would lead one to that conclusion?
They do not. They like mean girls. They like women who don't like them back. They like women who are mean to them. Because when they have a woman who's right in front of them that wants to settle down, wants to like, you know, be a wife, whatever it is, the whole traditional thing, they sabotage it and they go run to the woman who literally does not play by the rules and like spit in his face and told him that I don't want him anymore.
That is sounding like a rather personal experience.
I'm being serious. I'm telling you, because I'm in the friend zone and they're running to the girls that are spitting in their faces and saying that I don't want them anymore. So this is the perspective from the nice girl, the good girl that got friend zoned, walked all over. They love bitches. They like mean girls.
Well, that explains a few things, but see, here's the problem. Just because the guy didn't choose the nice girl in this instance or in different instances doesn't mean that most men don't in fact like nice girls, because they do. Just because the guy didn't like this nice girl in particular doesn't mean that all men or the majority of men prefer girls that aren't nice. That oftentimes happens when someone is disappointed in a relationship. They assume that it must be something with the guy, when it could just be that the guy wasn't interested in you.
These types of women have no idea what men actually want, and it shows. No wonder they keep remaining single. She says things like, "Men love mean girls." But did a man actually tell her that? Or is she just repeating a self-serving narrative that makes her feel better about being disrespectful, cold, and entitled? Because let's be honest, if men really loved mean girls, wouldn't those women be getting pursued left and right? Wouldn't they be getting wifed up, not left on read? But that's not happening. In fact, it's the opposite. The older they get, the quieter it gets. Because the truth is, most men aren't looking to invite more chaos into their lives. They're already dealing with stress from work, finances, life pressure. The last thing they want is to come home to an argument or attitude from a woman who thinks being mean is cute. They're not impressed by snarky comments, emotional games, or a woman who thinks submission is weakness.
Hey! Alright, I am looking for a guy, a single guy, the age of 21 to 24, interested in doing a blind photo shoot. I already got my girl picked out, so now I'm looking for my guy. What a blind photo shoot is you're blind, or blindfolded. She's blindfolded. You don't know what she looks like. She don't know what you're looking like. And when you get there to the photo shoot, that's where you guys meet. So I'm in the 912 area. So if you're here in the 912 area, let me know. Or if you know anybody, please comment and share. I need a guy. Let me know.
This is just my PSA to all men that are at the grocery store thinking they need to hit on women. I'm not saying that, I am hot or anything, but like a man just tried to hit on me in the grocery store. He followed me from aisle to aisle. Like, you're getting suspicious, sir. But unless you're trying to pay for my damn groceries, get the fuck out of my way. Because all I'm thinking about right now is how much this total is going to be. And I don't even have meat in the cart. I don't care about what you're up to. Unless you're trying to pay for these groceries, get away from me and stop being fucking creepy. Like, it's just so annoying that you, as a female, can't even go to the grocery store. Like, I intentionally look the worst that I can look at the grocery store so people won't try to talk to me. But it never fails. There's always one creepy man, and he's trying to ask about my day. And, sir, I'm just trying to buy some groceries. Like, unless you're trying to give me the card or something, keep it moving, sir.
I think where men get frustrated is that they know that her reaction would be completely different if she was attracted to that man. Because all you women come on here and you say you would love to meet a man in real life. Because you hate dating apps and you don't want men sliding into your DMs either. So I can understand how men are kind of left in a position of not knowing what the best thing is to do. Do they stay online so that they're not approaching somebody that is not attracted to them? Or do they gather up enough confidence and courage to approach somebody in person where he can better demonstrate who he is and his personality? Me personally, I think he continues to do that, because while you're going to end up with women that reject you, and especially women like this that even need to make a story about it and they have to post a TikTok and be all dramatic about it, like she really went through a huge hassle over this guy approaching her. The bottom line is that I do think that this is the approach that men should take, because even if you don't find a woman like this that is wanting to date you, you do still build up your confidence and your ability to communicate will absolutely improve. And there is a chance that you could run into a woman who, you pique her interest. And that's what you're looking for. So don't let women like this that have such a negative message hold you back from finding your wife.
Your standards are not too high if you meet your standards yourself. I heard a creator say this on this app yesterday, and I was like, yes, exactly. If I can remember her name, I'll tag her. You may say, I'm still single because my standards are too high. I would then say, you're likely not single because your standards are too low. Not always. Sometimes you get treated well. It would be so easy for me to get into a relationship. It's 7 a.m. I could be in one by 8 a.m. But is it who I want? No. And then what happens in 2 to 4 years when I meet the man of my dreams and I'm already with this guy? I've already commingled our finances, our family, our children, and then I'm stuck. No thanks, I'd rather wait. And when you say I have standards that are up here, there's not a single standard that I have that I don't meet myself. Not one. If I said I wanted someone who's ambitious, but I was lazy, that would be hypocritical. If I said I wanted someone who took care of their physical, mental, and emotional and spiritual health, and I didn't, that would be hypocritical. If I said I wanted someone who had a good income, and I didn't, that would be hypocritical. But I meet every single standard that I place on a man. So no, Linda, they're not too high. Yours are just too low.
My standard of not accepting coffee dates and asking for dinner dates instead is equated to being in the desert and being offered water and then me requesting Pepsi.
This seems to be all the thing, like women online now going, I won't do coffee dates. Well, that's fine. Then good luck trying to find a man. I don't know what to tell you. If you just meet somebody, whether it's online or in the wild, going on a dinner date, which I don't really like dinner dates. I find them to be just staring at somebody eating to be an odd thing. But like, I'd rather sit there and talk to somebody. And you're valuing going, well, if he's not willing to invest money, because that's everything, that's what this really is like, oh, he won't invest money in me, even if it doesn't work out, so that's my standard. Well, then split the tab. If you want to go on a dinner date, then you pay for it. I don't understand the big deal of going on a coffee date, getting to know somebody, kind of vibe check it before you want to make the investment. It's like test driving a car. You don't want to just go out and buy the car and spend all the money without, making sure it fits well and you have a good experience with it to maybe go to the next step and invest a little bit more time and money into it. She goes on to validate that for all the girlies to say, oh, I don't need men need us. No, we don't need you. And we would like to have a companion or a relationship, but these standards, like it's a black and white that you are requiring, is ridiculous. And dinners cost money. And even men who have money don't want to waste money. That's how they have money, is they're wise with their funds. So good luck to everybody out there. I'm glad I don't deal with any of this bullshit. I don't know what happened. Tell me what happened in the world where women tend to demand all this from men. Please, somebody explain this.
And these are the same standards that are keeping them single. She's out here rejecting a coffee date, not because the guy was rude, not because there was no effort, but simply because it wasn't extravagant enough. A simple meet-up to talk and connect, that's beneath her now. I really wonder, what makes some of these women think they deserve to be taken somewhere expensive by a complete stranger? What makes you so special that a man you just met has to prove his worth by swiping his card? You don't know him. He doesn't know you. But before you even sit down and have a conversation, you expect him to invest in you financially, like he's applying for a job called your boyfriend. That mindset doesn't show value, it shows entitlement. And what's worse, these same women will keep getting passed over by men who actually have options because those men see through it. They know when a woman wants them for who they are versus what they can spend